Okay, so I'm making a short video on how to use Yahoo Fantasy Sports for you guys. And my microphone's really sensitive, so if you hear weird sounds and me clearing my throat, sorry. That's just the way it'll have to be. So this is the home page. You've got the standings here, points you've got, your records, recent transactions, and here are the matchups for this week. If you click on one of these, it will take you and show you each person's rundown of who they're playing, how many projected points, how many actual points here, and this will show you their bench. If you go up here, you go to My Team, Roster, and it shows you everyone on your team here. And everybody that's blue is someone that you can switch. As their game starts, they'll turn to black, as you'll see here. It'll look like this. Anyone who's blue you can click on and then switch. Like I can swap Michael Vick in there. And I just got signed out. So you'll also see in the default view this points that they've scored during the season. If you click on projected stats, you can see week 4 and their projected stats for that week. So if I click on Michael Vick, I can see that Tom Brady's projected to get more, so I can click on him, sub him in. Same goes for any of them. Kansas City, I'm going to put in just because. If you're looking for players to swap in for the waiver wire, just as a free agent, you can click on players and then player list up here. You can sort by position and then view stats like season projected. Or if you just want somebody for the upcoming week, and click week 4 projected, filter that, and then sort by the points. Normally it won't show anyone who's not available, so you can click all players and see who's on everybody's team and how they stack up. If you go back to your roster, you'll see a button here called Opponents. This will show you everyone that your players are playing along with their bye week. And you're not going to want to play someone who has a bye week on the week that you're trying to sort out. So if we click on this team here, we can see that Cam Newton has a bye week. So they should really swap him out and play Tony Romo instead, like I have for Randall Cobb here. He has a bye week, so I'm sitting him out this week because he's not going to get any points. If you click on these yellow tabs here, you'll see player notes from the last week, along with ratings for the games and how the team they're playing against stacks up across the rest of the league. And you'll also see that here in the team colors. So Victor Cruz is against Kansas City, and that's red, so that means that Kansas City has a good defense, and Victor Cruz is going to have a harder time than usual scoring points. Whereas down here we've got Kansas City and Indianapolis playing against weak offenses, so they'll be better this week. If you go into League and then League Pick'em, you'll find a small sort of mini game where you can choose who you think's going to win. It's sort of like a betting thing. If you want to do a trade with someone, you can click on Create Trade here, and it will ask you which team you want to trade with. So I'll trade with Manning's boys, and if I click on Wes Welker for Calvin Johnson, I can then click Evaluate Trade, and I can see that right here that would be a terrible trade for me to make. So I'm probably going to want to go back and change that and not submit. If you go into research, you'll see transaction trends, which just shows you how many people are adding and dropping teams. So here you can see that Kansas City and Indianapolis are getting picked up a lot this week, along with Bilal Powell. And you'll also see that James Starks in Minnesota and Buffalo are all getting dropped a fair amount. So that can keep you up to date with whether players are hot or injured, and can sometimes tip you off to a news item that you may have missed. If we click on Santonio Holmes, you can see that he was limited in practice Wednesday, so that might be why he's being dropped and added on a lot of teams. If you click who's hot, it'll basically show you who scored the most points in the last week, and oops, matchup ratings will show you how each team fares against different positions. Injury reports will just show you everyone who's injured. It's kind of a bit too much information. It's a lot easier if you go into your own roster and then click player updates, and then you can see everyone's information from on your team. You can also view opponents or free agents, whichever you're looking at. Here you'll see a watch list. Any play that you click the star next to in the player list up here will appear in your watch list, and that lets you easily see how many points they got. I think that's all that you really need to know for now. If you have any questions, you can just let me know, but this should be enough to get you started. The most important thing is figuring out how to swap your guys in and out. One last thing, if you decide to add someone, like if I wanted Stephen Ridley, I would click that plus mark, and then I could pick someone to swap out because my team's currently full. But I don't want that because he sucks. And you'll notice here that these guys have a W. Anytime a player gets dropped from a team, they're on the waiver for 2 days. And what that means is that nobody can pick them up until their waiver expires, which in this case will be in 2 days from now. And if you go to the league overview page, you can see a waiver number here. So this means that currently Alligator Wrestlers has the highest waiver priority. So if multiple people wanted to add someone on the waiver wire, when that expired, it would go to whoever has the lowest waiver number or the highest waiver priority. Waiver wires are a bit tricky. Any player whose game starts that week will go onto the waiver wire, and that will keep happening until all the games have happened, and then all the waivers expire at midnight on Tuesday, which is when those will be processed. And then any players that are dropped from teams automatically get 2 days regardless of when they're dropped. And that should be the end of everything. Let me know if you have questions.